Hi. April 16th is not Suicide Prevention or Awareness Day, but it is the day that I think it kind of is an Awareness Day, and I think it's really important that people are more comfortable talking about things like this, and I kind of feel really strongly about all these awareness days and people getting more information and knowing that there's always someone they can talk to, and there's always someone there, and you're never completely alone, even if you feel like you are. If you're really sad or if you're really distraught about something, you're not the only one who feels that way. Most likely, there's always someone you can talk to, and I kind of feel like lately, there has been so many teen suicides and suicide attempts, and it seems personally, it kind of looks like it's okay to do that if you get really sad, and that's the way out. That's what you do when everything goes wrong. You kill yourself, and I don't think that people who are growing up should be growing up knowing that and feeling that way and thinking that that's okay, because it's not. And I think that when a teenager has depression or has an eating disorder or a mental illness of any kind, it's almost always put down to, oh, it's just you're changing hormones, or it's just a phase, you'll just get through it, you're just trying to lose weight to look like these people, or oh, it's just the stress of school. It's always put down to something else, and people don't realise that young people can have these disorders, and they can feel this way, and it's not talked about. I think it should be talked about because it is so important, and it's so important that people realise that this happens every day, and so many people think that their only way out is to kill themselves, or to try kill themselves, or to self-harm, because they think nobody's listening, and people should be listening, obviously. I think that, although a lot of the time, when you're a teenager and something gets you down and you just lose it or get really upset, and yeah, that does happen because of hormones, blah blah blah, but there are times when it's more than that, and I think that grown-ups, I suppose, don't really understand that it is more than that sometimes, and they, I'm not saying they don't help, but I'm saying that they need to realise that when you're in that situation, that's what's on your mind, and when someone says, oh, you're not actually sad, you calm down or get over it, that's not gonna help. That's not gonna make someone be oh yeah, sure, someone has it worse than me, I should be happy. Yeah, that's saying, oh, you shouldn't be happy, someone has it a lot better than you somewhere. You wouldn't say that to someone, it doesn't make sense. So why do people do it about mental illnesses or depression? I don't get it. Then there's the cyberbullying side of it, I suppose. People lately, especially, because when our parents grew up, they wouldn't have had the internet and stuff, so it probably wouldn't have happened. But now, because everything can be anonymous, and there's all this hate going around, and it's so pointless. If someone did something to you, you should say it to them. You shouldn't go onto their Ask FM or go onto their Tumblr or Twitter, anything like that, and go anonymously and just say something mean to them just so that they can feel bad. Why do that? How does that improve your life? It only makes theirs worse. And you never know what one comment could send someone over the edge. You don't know what day they've been having, or how things are at home, or money wise, anything like that. You don't know what they're going through, and you could say this one thing to someone anonymously, and everything could just come crushing down on top of them. You don't know what you could say to someone, especially online, never mind in real life, because it can be kind of sorted, I suppose, more so in real life than online, because it's really hard to like find people and things like that. Then there's like the kind of like eating disorder side of it, and I think that people think it's all young girls just trying to look like these supermodels and trying to become these things, and like they don't realize that like guys go through this too. There's so much more to eating disorders than bulimia and anorexia, although they are the biggest ones. There's binge eating, there's like tricking yourself into eating, there's all these little things, and like people don't realize that like it happens to guys too, and they kind of get ignored, I think, a lot of the time, like help wise, because people think, oh, like get over it, you're not like what are you trying to do, lose weight and stuff like that. But it's not about losing weight, it's like it's a mental disorder. Like you can't tell yourself, oh, stop that, like just eat. Like it's hard, you can't, like especially when you're on Facebook and you're looking down your newsfeed, and when like someone puts up a new profile picture and you're like, oh, 300 likes on that, okay, I don't get 300 likes on my photos, why don't I get 200 likes? And then you like kind of think about like, oh, what can I do to change myself? What different makeup can I wear? Like, how can I dress differently? All this kind of crap, like, just so you can be like this person, but you're not that person. You're yourself. And like, I think, although like it's completely different to having an eating disorder, like looking at girls or the guys or whatever, and thinking like, oh, I want to be like them. That's not an eating disorder, but it can fuel eating disorders. It can start them off, and I don't think that it's healthy. Like, I just think our generation is going to be so messed up because people, there's no kind of like line. Like, people can't draw the line and just say like, oh no, I can't do that. Like, that's just completely out of order. But people don't have that line, so it's just, it gets really bad, and it does. And I think people are just ignorant. Like, I hate using that word, but people are just ignorant about teen disorders, teen eating disorders, teen suicides, teen depression, because they think, oh no, it's just a change of hormones. And it's not just a change of hormones. It's not. It's completely different. And sometimes there are people who try to do these things to seek attention, and there is that does happen, but that's completely different disorder. That's just like, you need help as well if you're pretending to be depressed or pretending to have an eating disorder, trying to give yourself an eating disorder, things like that. Like, that's completely different illness. That's not, it's almost worse, because you're doing this thing to yourself so that you get attention. And what I wrote, okay. But yeah, like, I just think that awareness does need to be raised, and I think that young people, like I'm 15, so I mean, I'm not saying I'm a big grown up, but like people who are coming into first year next year or younger than that, they need to kind of grow up in a place where it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to get sad, and it's okay to be able to talk to someone about it, because I kind of think like our generation, we have the internet, so like we just go talk to someone we don't know online, like Tumblr and stuff. Like, you'd make friends on that and you wouldn't really know them, but you would be able to talk to them. Whereas I think people need to be able to talk to people that they know in real life, and they need to be able to go get help for themselves, because yeah, it is great, like it feels so good getting all your feelings out to someone that you don't know, because like it can't get around to anyone else, kind of thing. But at the same time, it can't really help you like get help. And I think that is the biggest thing. I think that people just need to know that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to break down and then like ask for help. Like, you need to feel comfortable talking about these things. And I think suicide is such a touchy subject, just because it's kind of like there's so many opinions on it, and I'm not saying my opinion is like the only opinion. Like, I just think that so many people are dying to live, but fighting for their lives, especially young people, like this teen cancer and all these crazy illnesses that teenagers do get, and like they're trying to survive. All they want to do is live, and then there's someone who had nobody to talk to, and then they felt that their only option was to kill themselves. Like, I just think that is just awful, because Like, it needs to change. It needs to be a way where, like, you feel comfortable talking. You know? And I mean, I'd love to, like, start a campaign, or I don't know, it sounds really big, but I'd love to, like, start something to raise awareness. Like, I don't care what it is. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm just Ali, but I don't care who you are, or if you're older than me, or younger than me, or a guy or a girl. Like, you can talk to sorry, you can talk to me, because I am imperfect, as you can tell by my face. I'm not perfect, and I've got problems sometimes, and like, it's nice to know that I do have people to talk to about it. So if you don't have anyone to talk to about it, I am here. Because I'm non-judgmental, really. I can't judge anybody. Like, why would I? I don't know. That does me too. When you tell someone something, and they're kind of like, well, just stop feeling that way, or just stop doing that, or just get away. Especially, like, older people. Like, you tell them something, they're like, oh, well, just don't do that anymore. And it's like, it's not that easy, you know? It's not. You know. So I just think that we need to be more aware of suicide, be more aware of depression, be more understanding of people's feelings, of people. You know, it's just little things, but like, they can make such a big difference. Like, you could save someone's life just by smiling at them, or like talking to them, or becoming their friend, or being nice to them. You know, asking them a question, like, helping them with homework, anything like that. Like, you could like genuinely like change their lives or save their lives. You know, if they're in a bad place. And sorry, this is really long, but another thing is just kind of recognizing like signs and stuff, like, to do with depression or suicide, eating disorders, mental illnesses. Like, there's so many little signs, and I don't think people really understand them or know about them. So like, if someone was really clever in school, you know, like, was always doing well, was studying really hard and stuff, and then they suddenly just start to fail, or they suddenly start to like fight with teachers and get angry and like be really like just aggro and ready to fight, you know, like, suddenly from going like studying really hard to like failing to getting aggressive and fighting. Like, that's one sign. Like, that's obviously just something not right there. And there's like